I used to think I was lucky. Right after graduating, I landed a job at a big company. Stable work, professional environment, everything seemed to unfold just as a fresh graduate would hope. 10 years passed. Countless projects came and went. There were successes and failures. There were times I was praised and times I was blamed. I bonded with so many people, then watched them move on. Some came, others left, but I stayed. Then one day, the company faced a crisis. 80% of the staff had to be laid off, and among them was me. No prior notice. My name appeared silently on the list, with only 2 months' salary as compensation. I tried to find out why, but no one gave a satisfying answer. Just the usual line. It's not your fault. It's just the circumstances. It sounded reasonable, but no one wants to be called the circumstance. On my last day, I stayed until midnight. Not because there was work to do. I just couldn't bring myself to leave the place I'd spent a decade in. Every desk corner, every familiar coffee mug, every knock from a colleague would now only remain in memory. I began applying. But after 10 years in the same environment, everything had changed. The positions posted no longer matched my old skill set. I realized I'd been standing still for too long. My skills were outdated. My knowledge wasn't refreshed. The relationships I thought were deep turned out to be superficial. I'd never pursued further learning, never tried to expand my expertise, and now I was falling behind. There were times I thought, if only I had started learning earlier. If only I had dared to step out sooner. But regrets can't trade for time. I once got called for an interview, but within 5 minutes, they said, "We need someone more up to date." I just smiled, nodded, and walked out of the room, feeling empty. That was when I realized experience isn't a weapon if it doesn't come with adaptability. I was still just a technical worker, good at my craft, but clueless about finance, with no long-term planning. The employment gap became a heavy financial burden. No income, no real savings, and I started feeling suffocated. I began blaming myself for how I spent, for buying on impulse. I had never prepared for the worst-case scenario, and when it finally came, I felt hard. I started recording every single expense, crossed out the non-essentials. For the first time in my life, I saw money not just as numbers, but as something that determined how long I could stay afloat. After more than 4 months of struggling, I accepted a job at a startup. The salary was 30% lower than before, but I said yes, because I couldn't stay still any longer. New environment, new people, new ways of working. At first, I wasn't used to it. But then, I began learning again, bit by bit. No more pride, no more comparisons, just moving forward. I relearned soft skills. I studied how to manage money. I learned to understand numbers, the company, and myself. Each day passed, and I no longer saw myself as someone who lost a job, but as someone quietly reborn. Now, I no longer look back with regret. I look back with gratitude because that fall pushed me out of the comfort zone I once thought was paradise. The road ahead is still long. There will still be challenges. But this time, I'm not walking because I have to. I'm walking because I want to. Only I can decide my own success or failure. And you? Are you ready to take the next step?